women. It's not only a woman's job or responsibilities to utilize the resources to enhance her participation or strengthen her participation or raising her rights. Hajiba from Mongolia believes on that, and he has actively engaged youth and also women in pastoral land management using mobile phones, demonstrating his forward-thinking approach to conservation and community empowerment by engaging women and facilitating the dissemination of information and raise the awareness on what are the existing knowledge capacities that exist at the level of local level that can be upscaled and enhanced to support his community. While Fernanda from Brazil and her technical assistants as a researcher contributed to provide an evidence to her decision makers that women knowledge, local knowledge, could be crucial to change the narrative on the ground if we invest on women, local, and traditional knowledge and capacities. So these 3 R's that we found out of the analysis of different amazing small actions that are and were implemented by our members, WeCan members across the dryland regions. And that's the unique of the WeCan, where we can share different knowledge and experience. So it's necessary to gain such comprehensive understanding on how these 3 R's could work together and what are the emerging conditions to support the creation of the inclusive and first societies by applying these 3 R's or recognizing these 3 R's. However, we need to ensure that women communities or women groups have a safe space where they can provide their voices, their capacities, their knowledge, sharing among others, learning from each other. It's also crucial to simplify the language, using the local language, using this simple language to highlight the different types of rights and how women can benefit from her rights and responsibilities as well, including the social media, the communication, let's say, and social media as well, to foster the engagement of women and improve the meaningful engagement and advocacy for her rights and responsibilities. So, and these are the path forwards that we recommend out from the analysis of the theme, the 3 R themes across the different cases, the global actions between the WeCan members. So we can recognize women unique knowledge on agroforestry techniques, including the silvopastoralism, for example, and dryland as a major management system that's used to be used to restore the lands and mainly forest and trees outside the forest, and also land restorations. And we keep fostering the knowledge sharing opportunities and best practices to demonstrate the South-South channels across the dryland regions, contributing to the resilience of its communities and their livelihoods. And for that, I would like to thank the organizing committee and ask the group to enjoy reading the 3 R's. And
thank you, Fida. I know that Fida is watching us now in Rome. So it was a very excellent, succinct summary of the findings that the WeCan members came up with in this policy brief. Rights, representation, and resources. This is an excellent way to summarize what is the way forward for promoting gender equality and strengthening women's participation in drylands management. I had the pleasure of attending the annual meeting of the weekend members in May in Rome, and I saw this very strong spirit of unity, of coordination, of willingness to engage and collaborate and share the experiences. I think it's an excellent platform for raising the awareness and sharing the stories of success. And also the platform to come up with the common narrative and build each other's confidence and push each other to continue moving ahead and promoting further and further the gender equality in all areas of work, in drylands, but then also beyond. So now I would like to move on and invite our next speaker, Miles Zulu. As I already introduced Miles at the beginning, she's the CEO and the founder of the Safe Environment People's Agency in Zambia. And Miles has also a presentation, and that will be another story of success from Zambia and the south of Africa.
When it comes down to it, look for the swift solutions, do the work, and mean what we say by saying we can incentivize the market to go that way, and we have to mean it.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I think we can give a big round of applause to our panelists.
So, women-led solutions, drought from Zambia and Southern Africa. Indeed, we have to believe in women because women bring solution. What hurts the woman first is to see that her family goes to bed on an empty stomach. So, Miles Zulu, founder and CEO, focal point person Weekend Zambia, Vice Chairperson Sadiq Great Greenwell, and Vice Secretary General for Pan-African Network for Conservation, Protection of Natural Resources in Africa. You can find us on those websites, and you can write to us on those email addresses. That's the organization. It was founded in 2004. This was not a donor-driven organization. It was a problem-driven organization where we had to come together to say, okay, there are these problems. How are we going to solve them with my fellow women and a few men? So those are our mandate to foster social, economic development, environmental conservation, protection, and improve governance to achieve sustainable livelihoods in the rural area. SEPA promotes gender equity, health, children rights, and HIV and AIDS, and mitigation. The vision, SEPA leading the way in transforming rural areas' livelihood by promoting eco-friendly environment, pollution-free water and air, health foods, improved livelihoods, health society. So if we do all those things, we expect to have a health society. And when you have a health society, it is not going to choke the resources for the government. So in Zambia, all civil society, we follow the policies that the government has. Everyone who is working in a particular program or project, we follow the policies like gender equity policy in Zambia. It's there. That's the one which we follow. This talks about non-discrimination. Zambia Land Police talks about 50% of land to go to women, 20% youths, and 10% to people living with disability, both on customary land and state land. So what is the problem? The problem is women not knowing this policy or not understanding it. So our role was to start sensitizing, translating, and take it to the community so that they understand as women. Then we have police registration framework for climate change and gender, which we call CC gap. There's water as well, police. I'm not going to dwell too much on this, climate adaptation. And now we have even an app which was developed soon. All these I've talked about. Now I want to come to the real issue. So the real issue here is women who are found throughout in the field, tilling the land, but the land does not belong to them. So this is the fight that we were fighting, to make sure that women should own the land in order to reduce poverty. Because you find that women will till the land, and immediately when it starts producing, the owners, the men, will say, no, leave this place, it's not yours. So we needed to sensitize them. First, we had 80% of the land in my country is a customary land. So we needed also to talk to the chiefs on one-to-one. Because if you bring them without talking to them one-to-one, you'll be sorry. Because each one will incite another one. So when you talk to them on one-to-one, then when you call them together, they know that they had already agreed to you. So this is a project. The other problem is water. I'm one of the victims. I've got a spinal spondylosis. If I sit, my neck shakes. My children would tell me, Mommy, your neck is shaking. But I say, I don't know. Because of carrying 20 liters of buckets, maybe I was carrying almost 150 per day. So I wouldn't want to subject my children or my fellow women to that. And Zambia is a dry land. This year, we don't even have enough rains. We were supposed to be full-time in rain season, but the rains are not there. So how can we produce? How can we produce for food security? So it meant us to come up with a project where we have to put irrigation there, you can see there, so that these women can produce throughout the year because they depend on the rain-fed crops. So during rain season, they will switch off the tanks and then they will plant the rain-fed crops. But during dry season, what are they going to do? They'll be sitting. And then with such projects, you find that they will continue. This project you are seeing, we use agroecology to make sure that it's cost effective. They have to use natural resources like leaves to make manure, like drops of goats, chickens, so that they don't spend much. Before that, let me go back, okay. So, this same project, if you look at it, in the next presentation there, how many SDGs is it addressing here? Right now, the whole world have only managed 30% of SDGs. We are failing, is it? But this kind of project, it addresses how many SDGs? It's about 11, you will see in future. Then, despite the agriculture, we do tree planting. These are line ministries whom we work together with, and that is tree planting with the children, inculcating environmental, education into children. As they grow, they will never part away. The children, we are planting trees there. What else? We have forest in Zambia. We still have forest. And this forest is beneficial. So you can see there now, we are doing training of beekeepers by also providing them with everything, the protecting clothing, the beehives, and for us, the motto is man and woman working together. It's no longer men in front and women at the back, but men and women working together side by side, side by side, side by side, side by side, side by side. It's no longer men in front and women at the back, but men and women working together side by side. That's our principle. So you can see men there. There are certain things that women cannot do. Men comes in. Because we want women to do what? To rest. This is the production. They will produce, they will process, we market them for them. And if they know that these trees that they have can give them this honey, which is more than copper price in my country, then why should we go for copper? So that's what we are doing. Visiting the traditional leader, they are the chief. Sensitizing women in the rural areas, that's what we do. So the project, I thought that this project that we are doing here, it addresses a lot of SDGs. SDG number 2, end poverty. How can we end poverty? By producing, is it? SDG number 3, good health, because we're eating well. SDG number 6, access to clean water, because of the boreholes. SDG number 7, affordable energy, because of the solar system. SDG number 8, decent work and economy, because there are youths who order the vegetables and sell. Other youths have been employed and women. And then SDG number 10, reduce inequality. So that is where now men and women working together. Then SDG number 13, climate justice. Within that field you are seeing, because where you are doing agriculture, you need to cut trees. So we plant fruit trees. Those two projects we have planted at each site 400 fruit trees to compensate the trees that we had cut, but also the fruits to add value to the nutrition. Then SDG, okay. So those are the SDGs that we have forgotten to put SDG number, is it number 5 or number 6, which says quality, number 5, yeah. Then there's quality education. Gender equality was supposed to be here as well. So why quality education? Because there's training that is going on every day to these women. So that's quality education. So what is the capacity gap policy that hinders participation of women and climate change related programs? So limited access to information and education for women, especially in the rural areas. Lack of representation and participation. Resource constraints, youth engagement limited platform for meaningful youth engagement and participation in the climate initiative can deter young people from getting involved. Lack of tailored policies, social and culture barriers. Capacity building recommendation, capacity building for these groups, women and youth, so as to strengthening their ability to resist the impact of climate change. Include CSOs as a carry out of their roles in the best ways. Grants have to go straight to the ground. Support CSOs implementing climate-related training or programs. So let me emphasize on this. Grants to go on the ground. We, the people who work on the ground, sometimes you find big organizations, because they have got big audited accounts, they will receive a lot of money. But if they want to sub-grant, it's only a drop in the ocean that will get there. They have to travel thousands of kilometers. But those who already have constituencies on the ground, fund them. You will see the change. Look at those that project that I've told you 11 SDGs. If we had 30, 50, 100 in the country of such kind of projects, we would not have talking about 30% of SDGs and complaining. So we need resources on the ground. These are small grants that we have seen that we are implementing. Women are still complaining. What about hose? Women are using hose. Already someone has got a back and a neck. Then you say, okay, well, because we'll give you water, continue digging with a hoe. Are we fair? No. So we need the real funds on the ground if we are going to see change. But if we continue like this, climate change will catch up with us. There is no winner in the climate change. We are all the same. Because if Zambia is not doing it, how can Europe achieve the goals? How can South something achieve the goals? So we are interlinked. Let us do the right thing at the same. Men, join us. I have a partner there, Caesar Katebe. He's always there. And my colleague Eda from Zambia Alliance Women, that's how we work together. I just introduced her to Weekend group. So, at last, let me sing. Side by side. Side by, come on, side by side. Side by side. Side by side. It's no longer men in front and women at the back, but men and women working together side. Come on, you people. Come on, stand up. Side by side. Side by side. Side by side.
Side by side.
Side by side. It's no longer men in front and women at the back, but men and women working together side by side. One more side by side. Side by side. Side by side. Side by side. It's no longer men in front and women at the back, but men and women working together side by side. Woo! I rest my case. Okay, she said, let us do fireworks to those women who are doing fine. Fireworks, Kiro. Come on. But you don't know. Fireworks, we go like this.
I don't know.
Okay, no, I just wanted you to hold my mic. She really wants it. So for people who are doing well, supporting women in the rural areas, we are going to give them this clap. Fireworks, kilo, pa pa pa, pa pa pa, yeah, 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 boom.
Okay, let's do one more time. Now everybody saw. Let's do one more time.
Thank you.
Miles, thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for... yeah, exactly. Yeah, you have an amazing energy. Thank you for lighting the room. It is really a powerful example of what could be done by one organization on the ground and the impact that you could achieve at all levels, because you talked about how you mobilize the communities, how you work with women and men and with the youth, and how you're reaching to the central government, and then you were also able to draw the link between the roots level activity all the way to the planetary scale. This is really amazing. Thank you so much for doing this work. Thank you for joining us. You are really an amazing woman, an amazing leader. I'm so happy you're here with us. We are very, very proud to be here next to you. So now, Carla, are you going to sing a song as well? I think you should. So we heard from Lorena about the evidence, the fact about the gendered impacts. We heard from FIDA about the policy framework, about the rights, representation, and resources. We heard from Miles about the amazing work that she's doing in Zambia at the roots level. Now over to you. You work at the IUCN. This is an international NGO, and I'm sure that your agency is working a lot on gender issues. Please tell us your story, what you're doing, and what do you think about everything that was said now?
I have a presentation.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. And thank you for the opportunity that was provided to IUCN just to share what is our experience on the dryland sustainable landscape initiatives. I will start to briefly talk about IUCN. That is the International Union for Conservation of Nature. As the name say, we are a union that is composed by members of state governments and civil society, NGOs, and we have also experts around all the world that are integrated in different commissions that we have. And IUCN was established in 1948, so it means that this year we celebrate our 75th anniversary. And we, as IUCN, we tried also, apart from different activities that we implement, we try, what we do is do our work in order to achieve what are the global targets related to sustainable development, but also take in consideration also the gender equality goals. And for that, what we do is understanding and implementing the gender responsive programs and policies. It means that what we do is to have global guidelines that can be from the global and regional level. And in partnership with different organizations, we have so far developed more than 60 guidelines, tools, and strategies on how to address gender equality and women's empowerment on the environmental sector. And linked with the UNCCD, we have a collaboration that was established the Gender Help Desk to support and advise UNCCD parts to implement the Gender Action Plan. And also in collaboration with UN Women, we have developed tools and capacity trainings to support countries' land degradation neutrality projects development. So going to the main themes that we was invited to talk about is related with the Sustainable Forest Management Impact Program on dryland sustainable landscape. So this is a global coordination project that is implemented by FAO and co-executed by IUCN and WOCAT. So this is a regional exchange mechanism that we implement in 3 regions of the that are normally the Central Asia, South, West and East part of Africa. So looking for the East part of Africa, we brought here the example of the project that is linked also to the Kenya Child Project. That is also Jeff Set project funded by the Jeff. And the name of this initiative is to strengthen forest management for improved biodiversity, conservation, and climate resilience in southern rangelands in Kenya. So this is one initiative that will be implemented with Kenyan National Environment Management Authority in coordination with IUCN. And the main core theme of this initiative is looking for the rangeland management, droughts management, and ecotourism issues. So, take in consideration that the IUCN approach on integrated gender, what it does, we understand that has a start point to understand the inequalities and vulnerabilities in order to manage to develop proper gender actions and also driving gender transformation, it's necessary to do a gender assessment. So regarding with this initiative, that is the Drylands Sustainable Landscape, on the beginning of this year, we did a gender assessment around the 11 countries that are implementing these initiatives. And the results of this, we found that IUCN will have a role on this initiative that will be to look at the gaps in the Gender Action Plan in the child projects in all the global coordination projects. We will also provide the capacity building and provide also backstop or technical assistance in order to implement these initiatives, and also create a working group on gender with the gender representatives of the 11 child project initiatives. And the IUCN will also provide the capacity building and provide also backstop or technical assistance in order to implement these initiatives, and also create a working group on gender with the gender representatives of the 11 child project initiatives. And according with the results of the gender analysis that was done this year for related with the dry land, the sustainable land, and the impact program, we found that at institutional level, we have some team members that are not aware about the gender mainstream guidelines. For example, the gender action plan. So it's something that we need to take it in consideration for the implementation of this GEF project. And also that we have some documents and frameworks, even this gender and action plan. There is no gender content in terms of the project activities related with the policies, process, planning in terms of the land use. So we see that we have commitments, but that are not full followed by actions. And the gender analysis show also around the 11 countries that we still have or face some not sufficient or insufficient resource allocation. We are talking about the financial and the human resource for gender-related works. And you find also in some countries, in some communities that was done the assessment, that we still have some strong traditional gender norms that we think that maybe can impact in terms of limit the participation of women on the place that we're going to implement our initiatives. And the issues also of the data, the use that collect, use, and the sex aggregate data is an issue that also was mentioned, because we can see that most of the time, sometimes you have the data, but we don't do the analysis. The numbers are there, but the analysis is not clear. So when we don't do the analysis of the data that we are collecting or we are reporting on our documents, because the donor say that we need to put how many women or how many men, it doesn't talk, doesn't show what is behind the numbers. So it's something that also we need to take in consideration. So those are the main challenges that we found on the assessment that was done during this year. In terms, as I said, this is an initiative that is on the begin. So this year we start only with the assessments. We'll start to implement, I think, on the beginning of next year. What we could do based on the initial activities that we are doing and the assessment that we did is that provides the gender equality framework is not enough. We need to ensure a full implementation of the different frameworks that we have and guidelines, and also that gender equality training and regular technical support for all different stakeholders can be a good entry point to allow their full engagement on those initiatives. And as I mentioned before, it will be necessary to allocate appropriate resource for gender-related work. We are talking about the human resource and also finance resource. And we need also, we saw that we will need also to still provide, or the project still need to define how to operationalize the gender action plan, because it's already drafted, but it's not clear how we're going to operationalize this on different countries where we're going to implement these GEF initiatives. In terms of the approach, here I brought the example of the one project that is the one that will be implemented in Kenya. The approach that we suggest as IUCN to be used and we normally use on different projects that we are implementing. We can use the 3 key ways. For us, three of them are important, but you need to choose the ones that are more appropriate according with what we're going to implement in the context that we're going to implement the initiatives. And one will be focused on the efficiency and equity, where what we're going to do is to support the inclusive conservation initiative to build resilience against droughts. And the second one is focused on raise awareness, enhancing women participation and promoting women economic empowerment. And the other is related with focus on transformative equality. But we are aware that gender transformative is something that takes time. It's not something that we can manage with one step or way. It's something that takes time, but is one of the approach that we think that it's important if you want to achieve the gender equality agenda. On this slide also, just to show that relate to it only this project, that is the Kenya Child Project, the project was intentional. The project bring or target some activities that will be focused on women. So this is the example of some activities. I will not read all of them. So those are the example of some activities that will be implemented in order directly for women in order to improve their participation on those droughts range lands. So to finalize, in terms of reflection, not only on these initiatives, but related to the dryland landscape impact, but other activities that we have been implemented, we show that we can see that change is possible, but it takes time, and that gender is everybody's business, but not everyone is ready for that. And also that women's groups and networks as well, gender advisor teams still need a dedicated support in order to achieve the gender equality agenda around or across the environmental sector. And thank you for your attention.
Carlos, thank you for adding to our conversation additional dimensions, the global multilateral agreements, the role of action plans, the role of strategies and how to operationalize them. And I also value that you also talked about the lack of resources and the need for further capacity building. And now we have our next speaker, Dunya Houri. She is also a weekend member from Lebanon, and she is the founder and the president of the Women's Association of El Deir El Amar. Dunya, the floor is yours. You also have a PowerPoint. Yeah.
Yeah. First, I'm very happy to be here at the UNCCD pavilion. We feel that we are in our family here because the UNCCD convention is the first convention that work on the gender action plan. So we are struggling all together here to implement the gender action plan and really to have a real difference in the life of women and the life of communities related to the mainstreaming of a gender action plan. Thank you so much. I am presenting our initiative in Deir al-Ahmar, titled The Resourcefulness and Innovation of Women Combating Drought in Bekaa Valley, Lebanon. So Bekaa Valley is, we are in Deir al-Ahmar region. It's a region in the Bekaa Valley between two western mountains and eastern mountains. We are at high level at around 100 meters, and we are in semi-arid climate land where we have a problem of it's a agriculture land, and the farmer of this land are living mainly from agriculture and transhuman farming. So we have low water per year, around 300 to 400 millimeters. This is why we have a lot of challenges. The major challenges are water shortage and conflict, especially in summertime. The lands for agriculture are left behind due to immigration. And of course, the problem of the climate change, which is affecting the agriculture and the land and the people. And of course, we have conflict over natural resources related to these challenges. Of course, we have still the gender inequality. We have also the women challenges, which are marginalized role of women, cultural norms that affect women's life. Women do not irrigate lands, and you are struggling to have the women land rights through the 3 conventions. The cost of land are very high for women. The limited women involvement in decision making, this is one of the main issue that we are struggling for it also. And we are excluded from participation in land conservation and development projects. Women are the most affected by desertification and drought, and the least empowered on effectively address this challenge. So I'm happy to show you our experience, the Women's Association of Dar al-Ahmar experience in combating desertification and drought. Here we are, this is our landscape. We are in agriculture land, very, very beautiful landscape. As you see, we have also mountains and valley. But unfortunately, you can see we are trying to keep our water for the scarcity period. We are making some lakes, artificial lakes. And we have the snow, but we don't have good management of water. This is what we need. And this is what is affecting the grazing of the animals too, the plantation. This is why we are trying as a WADA mission to develop this area, helping local communities and women to help themselves. This is our strategy. Why? Because we envision a society where women's contributions are recognized and access of resources is guaranteed, regardless of any form of discrimination based on gender, race, or ethnicity. We believe that only with ideas, contribution, and resources of women we can promote an effective, sustainable development. So we are promoting women's socio-economic process for achieving a more equitable environment. And we wish to modify this work from conventional, because before it was social, charitable, to an institutional framework aiming at developing skills and improving social status, knowledge, and income, to contribute to the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals, which are 1, 5, and 13. 1, no poverty. 5, gender equality. 13, it's about climate action. What are the proposed solutions? What are we doing? We are valorizing the women's skills and the specific know-how and build on it through socio-economic women empowerment process, which are first, training sessions. So we work on the capacity of the local community, of the women of the local community. We work on making capacity building, training sessions, start-up and capacity creation of microcredits, agro-food sector mainly, marketing and market opportunities for the products, awareness sessions on female leadership and decision-making. This is what we are trying to valorize. By example, we have the wheat in the area, and we are trying to valorize this product, which is called the frike, which is a very, very healthy product. So we are trying to achieve not only the food security, but only the healthy way to eat. This is why women, we are looking in a different way. This is our agro-food products. We are working on vegetables, fruits of the area, because we are in an area where we have the fruits, the vegetables, and we work how to conserve our natural resources, because it's perishable products. We are trying to conserve these products all around the year. This is why we are trying also to preserve our dairy products. We have the milk sometimes at very, very, very abundance, and in other time of the year we don't have milk. This is why we are trying to make some products with long life. The kishik is one of very, very important product, which is a mix of burghul, which is the wheat, and the yaourt and labne. Then we dry it. We have a very, very hot sun in our area. It's a very sunny area. So we are drying this product. Then we make it as a powder, as you can see here. And we have this product, which is a long life. We can conserve it all over the year, and it's very healthy and very, very well, very quickly prepared. We have all the agro-food, the pickles, the jams, and all are from the natural resources. This is how we are conserving our natural resources. We call this in Lebanon the Moune products. Moune, which is making provision all over the year. These products we can help you. We don't have to go to the supermarket to have our products. We have our products in our home. We have our products very healthy without any additive, without any chemicals. This is very important, and supporting the farmers to conserve those products. Then we have what are the other proposed solutions to combat desertification and drought. This is how we can protect our environment. This is very important because we have our natural resources. We have to go through our natural resources to conserve them. We have our cultural heritage. We are in a very rich area. We have the temples. We have the architecture, very specific. We have our folkloric dance, our know-how. So what we are trying to do is to conserve this cultural heritage in food, so also we make a lot of awareness campaigns on environmental protection with students, with the local community, and we are planting green areas, and we make our botanical garden. We work a lot on solid waste treatment also, and we work on the organic farming. So we are supporting also to find the good products, the good crops, combating desertification and drought. This is why we try to make a new product, which is the safflower oil. And we try also to make other, by example, the wheat. We are collaborating with like the Agricultural Institute, like LARI, which is the Lebanese Agricultural Institute, to find the good products, the good crops that can face the drought and the desertification. We are also collaborating with the universities, American University of Beirut or Lebanese University. We collaborate with them to support the farmers, to support the shelters. So we have a lot of projects to support the local communities, the local farmers. But meanwhile, we have a lot of immigration from the area, and the people of the land should stay in their land to conserve their natural resources. This is why we have a very, very good innovative project, which is because people don't work on tourism. So our organization, we implement a new project, which is the rural tourism and the agro-tourism, enhancing women participation in the sector and creating job opportunities for the local community. This is what we done here. We prepared tourism market studies, analysis to identify the opportunities and the richness of the region. So the people have the richness, but they don't know about it. We have the Baalbek temples, which are very famous, very important Baalbek from the Roman period. And we are supporting the people to know about their heritage, about their richness. WADA support local community to preserve their cultural heritage, their traditions, dresses, handicrafts, food. So the WADA Center is becoming an attraction space for rural tourism and agro-tourism to meet and to discover the richness of the Bekaa Valley. So this is what we are doing. It's an innovative approach to include the rural tourism with the agriculture sector, the tourism sector, side to side with the agriculture sector to make more job opportunities, to create more finance for the people of the land. How we are developing the rural and agro-tourism sector? We organize the programs to attract the visitors. We prepared brochure on rural tourism and agro-tourism. We are organizing training for local guides and for the local community, for the people, and because we create also a network of 30 guest houses with the local community. So we make training for the women of the houses, how they have to receive the visitors, the hygiene, all this concept. And now we have a syndicate for guest houses, and I'm a member in this syndicate in Lebanon. And because we are implementing this new project, so it was growing all over Lebanon, and now we have really a syndicate. Also, we implemented hiking trails, thematic hiking trails. For example, if you want to come to make religious tourism, we can go through this hike. If you want to make wine tourism, because we have more production of wine. If you want to go through the natural or the cultural heritage, you have another trail. So we implement those trails, and it's thematic. And now this year, we are We are, so you can see a little bit our area. We have a natural reserve of Yamuni. It's very important natural reserve. We have water sources. We have the forest of juniper, the religious sites, the cultural sites. You can see Baalbek. You can see different monuments related to very, very important civilization. So the area is very important to make it for agrotourism and for the rural tourism, side to side to the agriculture. What we do also, we implement, it is our center, the Wada Rural Center in Deir al-Ahmar. We implement this center with partners. Of course, we partners, they supported us. We have a visitor training center for agricultural activities, visitor accommodation with 5 bungalows, space for farmers. Okay, so this is our different sectors in our center. What are the results? Women have proven their capacity to increase the income of their family, to administer small business, manage small cooperatives, get access to microcredits, build confidence, and speak up in the public events. So we make really a chance in the life of women, and we support the farmers and the local community to face also the drought and the desertification. WADA has become a member of the executive. We are collaborating with the municipality, with the Union of Municipality, and the Rural Development Center provides opportunities for visitors to meet the richness of the Bekaa Valley, which is very important. What are the results also? We received the Dubai International Award for Best Practices to Improve the Living Environment for our initiative titled Women's Contribution to Sustainable Rural Development since the year 2002. We have the certificate from the UN Habitat, and a very beautiful trophy, the gold trophy. And as weekend member, we have a lot now. I am very happy to meet here the weekend members. We have the opportunity now to collaborate, to create partnership and South-South cooperation, to make knowledge exchange and mutual learning with the other members, and to participate in global discussions as we are today. It's really a very big opportunity for us. So we can member also, we have this partnership, and we are looking to stay in contact through this website and our contacts. Thank you so much. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, Dunya, for sharing your story. It's another beautiful story of women-led action, which leads to so many results. So this is the proof that when women get to work, they deliver. They not only deliver on gender equality, but they can deliver on so many other results. And the ripple effect is really huge. It goes across the society, it goes across the community. And through the simple example, through this not simple, but one example, you demonstrated that this work can contribute to poverty eradication, economic development, economic empowerment of communities, development of trade, development of markets, access to markets. This is really amazing. And I like that throughout this conversation, we didn't really focus on this point that women are victims, that women are not capable, that women need capacity development. Our conversation was about the solutions, right? We really celebrated the successes of the organizations that are led by women, that are firmly based on the community and supported by the grassroots. And this is really very inspiring. Thank you for sharing your story. And thank you for being such an active member of WeCan. I know that the WeCan has sponsored the participation of a few active members, and I'm very happy that Miles is here and that Dunya, you also are here. So we're coming to the end of our event. I wonder if our dear audience has any stories to share, or if you have any questions to our speakers, please feel free to ask.
I just want to add, we cannot make climate change, we cannot face this big challenge all over the world if we are not really involved, as women, really involved in this act. If not, we cannot arrive to really have facing this climate change challenge. It's a very, very big challenge, and we should be in. As women, we should be, our gender mainstreaming should be in all sectors. Absolutely. And when we are analyzing this, and we learn from Lorena and about gender, and we are analyzing this gender mainstreaming, we find how much it's important to be as women in these solutions. If not, it will be very hard to achieve our goals, the Sustainable Development Goals and the climate change challenges.
Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely agree. There should be no limits to our work, and we should celebrate all the women heroes or sheroes, and we should celebrate our success. So I would like to thank you for coming and joining us today. It was a very short event, but I think it was very interesting and very inspiring. Thank you all for your hard work.
Share a picture together.